This review will take a quick look at the speech Otto Warmbier gave after he alleged he was caught taking down a North Korean poster at a hotel he was staying at. And let me get the speech on here. It's rather dramatic, and let me get on the screen here. One moment, please.
지금부터 반공화국 족대 행위를 감행하다가 족발 체포된 미국 버지니아 종합대학 학생 완비어 오토 프레드리크의 요청에 따른 기자회견을 시작하겠습니다. 먼저 완비어가 발언하겠습니다.
First, I would like to thank everyone for coming to the press conference that I eagerly requested to have. I would also like to show my sincere gratitude to the government of the DPR Korea for giving me this opportunity to apologize for my crime, to beg for forgiveness, and to beg for any assistance to save my life. On December 29th, 2015, I entered the DPR Korea as a tourist. On January 1st, 2016, New Year's Day, I committed severe crimes against both the people and the government of the DPR Korea. Due to this crime, on January 2nd, 2016, I was detained, and I am currently under investigation. My name is Otto Frederick Warmbier. I am 21 years old. I am a student of finance at the University of Virginia. I am in my third year at the university. My residential address is 225 West Hill Lane, Cincinnati, Ohio, United States, with my family. At the moment, I live in a rented apartment at 600 Preston Place, Charlottesville, Virginia, near my university. My father, Frederick Warmbier, owns a very small factory called Finishing Cincinnati Black Oxide, that barely makes enough to support my family. My mother, Cindy Warmbier, is a housewife. I am the oldest son in my family. My brother, Austin Warmbier, and my sister, Greta Warmbier, are both high school students in Cincinnati, Ohio, United States. On January 1st, 2016, I committed the crime of taking out a political slogan from the staff-only area of the Yangakdo International Hotel. The slogan inspires the people's love for their system. The task was given by the Friendship United Methodist Church. At the encouragement of the Z Society and the connivance of the United States administration, I came to commit this crime task. The aim of this crime was to harm the work ethic and motivation of the Korean people. This was a very foolish aim. Growing up in the United States, I was taught that the DPR Korea is a mysterious, isolated communist nation from education and mass media. This made an innocent-minded, adventurous young man, like myself, want to show my bravery, to improve my reputation, and show a Western victory over the DPR Korea. I was told by colleagues that North Korea is a beautiful country with great architecture, and that if I was interested in communist nations, I needed to consider a visit. Based on this recommendation, I started to consider my visit. Then, in January 2016, I was scheduled to take a university-sponsored financial class in Hong Kong. I decided to use this opportunity to visit the DPR Korea as a tourist before my financial class. I asked my father and my brother to travel with me, while I emailed both UK Koryo Tours and UK Young Pioneer Tours in August 2015. But it was too expensive, and they are very busy, so they could not travel with me. I chose Young Pioneer Tours because it was cheaper. I gave my father $800, and he agreed to pay the other $400 to cover the entire $1,200 cost of a Young Pioneers tour of the DPR Korea. Based on my application's confirmation,
And let me advance this a bit. I can't get everything in for, it'd be too lengthy, but I'll try to squeeze most of it in.
Thank you for your question. I will now address why the Friendship United Methodist Church gave me this task. The Friendship United Methodist Church is located in Cincinnati, Ohio, United States. I have known about this church since my childhood because I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, United States. You can easily find detailed information on this church from the internet. The Friendship United Methodist Church is not a typical church. It is very wealthy, with $42 million. That is why the United States administration has very close ties with this church. This church made a plan to enter into anti-Christian countries, which the United States administration dislikes, and it is currently implementing this plan. Several Democratic congressmen regularly visit this church to collect political fund donations and to assure their continued support of this church's policy. It is said that in 2008, around $10 million, around 2 to 3% of President Barack Obama's total election cost was collected from this church. That is one of the reasons why the United States administration works closely with the Friendship United Methodist Church and connives at all acts, including...
And let me advance it a bit more. One moment, please.
And, most importantly, they must commit a brave act to help with the society's stated objective. Once again, all members and activities are strictly confidential. It is, well, clear that the Z Society knew of my good grades and leadership. It is also clear that they knew that I would eagerly want to join the society in order to solve my family's desperate financial problems. Because of this, the Z Society expected me to commit a brave act to help eliminate tyranny. In order to prove my braveness to the Z Society, I committed my crime in the DPR Korea, with hopes of joining the Z Society. In the DPR Korea, if needed. Based on this detailed preparation, I came to commit my crime in the DPR Korea. Thank you all again for your continued attention.
가스통신사 기자 유리시그룹입니다. 당수의 자살에서 감행한 범죄 이세부에 대하여 다시 한번 말해주시죠.
Thank you for your question. I will now explain the details of my crime commitment. On December 27th, 2015, I alone arrived in Beijing and spent 2 days looking around the city. On December 29th, 2015, I met my tour group at the Beijing International Airport. That afternoon, we arrived at the Pyongyang International Airport and we checked into the Yangakdo International Hotel. While in Pyongyang, I prepared additionally for my crime. On the morning of December 30th, 2015, I asked my UK tour guide where they keep the important slogans in the Yangakdo International Hotel. She said they are in staff-only areas. That night, I alone walked around the second floor lobby until I saw a staff-only sign, in English, opposite the hotel shop. I checked for cameras and saw none. I knew where I would commit my crime. I chose the early morning of January 1st, 2016, New Year's, because I thought there would be less employees for the holiday. I knew my tour group would be drunk, so I could use my planned excuse that I was just drunk like them. The next morning, December 31st, 2015, I intentionally wore my quietest boots, the ones that I had prepared while in the United States. Around 1 o'clock a.m. on January 1st, 2016, my tour group returned to the Yangakdo International Hotel after looking at the Pyongyang night view. I took my coat and my items up to my room. Around 1:30 a.m., I joined my tour group at the second floor lobby draft beer bar. Then, I snuck away from the bar and quietly entered the staff-only area. I saw no one, and I saw the desired slogan hanging on a right side wall. I approached the wall and with two hands grabbed the slogan at the bottom and removed it from the hangers. It was much bigger and heavier than I had expected. I became very scared, and I realized that I could not take the slogan. Hastily, I put it down, upside down. I snuck out of the staff-only area and ran up to my hotel room. I hope that clearly explains the details of my crime procedure. Thank you all again for your attention. Good health and find some relief. However, I miss that family so much. I understand the severity of my crime, and I have no idea what sort of penalty I may face. But I am begging to the Korean people and government for my forgiveness, and I am praying to the heavens so that I may be returned home to my family. I hope that clearly explains my humanitarian treatment while in the DPR Korea. Thank you all for listening again.
And let me advance this and get the final thing on here.
Through my tour in this country, I have come to see that reality in the DPR Korea is very different from the state of evils that the West tagged. And I have come to see that the current human rights issues in the DPR Korea, consistently highlighted by the United States administration, is nothing more than an excuse to harm and eventually overthrow the government of the DPR Korea. My dear United States citizens, seeing is believing, as the proverb goes. Please, come to Pyongyang, which one United States citizen long ago called an Eastern Jerusalem. Then you will believe me. Once again, I want to beg for forgiveness. Please, people and government of the DPR Korea, I beg that you see how I was used and manipulated. Please, act to save me. Save my life. Please, do not only think of me. Please forgive me for my family. I am the oldest son in my family. My mother needs me. My father needs me. My younger brother and my younger sister need me. I have made the single worst decision of my life. But I am only human. I beg that you consider that, and I beg that you find it in your hearts to give me forgiveness and allow me to return home to my family. I also beg that journalists accurately and objectively report my story and provide help of any kind. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. After this press conference, my family will come to know about my current situation. I am very worried that they may be harmed, and, like I was manipulated by the United States administration, I am worried that they may be threatened or harmed by those from the government. I beg for any kind of public protection for my family. One final time, people and government of the DPR Korea, I beg for forgiveness.
And that's the review of his presentation to the press. And as you can see, it's quite dramatic, and he's currently deceased. I don't know if you're aware of that. And that'll do it. I tried to get most of the significant parts in, but that'll do it. One moment, please. Let me get a final screen on here.